All right, test, test, 1, 2. All right, I switched over to my webcam audio, so hopefully you guys can hear me now. But I have this giant boom mic here that's not working. Yeah. Thank you guys all so much for being here today. Again, this is B from Kongs R Us, and I did my whole intro, and I was setting up, and I guess I would just say, because this is a chill and chat, we can be honest. We can be forthright with everybody here that's here in the morning. I was watching the Tech Buzz with Stephen Hayward, and he does this great series about called I think Broadcast Now on Thursdays. And his latest tip of the day or tip of the week was like, you need to prep at least 6 hours before you go live for any stream that you do, to test your equipment, to test your camera. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a really great thing to do. And then here I am, like 10 minutes before the stream, like setting up my camera. And then I was like, crap, I forgot to check the sound before I went live. And that's my confession to you, that I'm not Stephen Hayward. I'm not the Tech Buzz. Even though he gives me good advice about what to use in terms of equipment and sound. This is just me having fun along with my family. So I'm appreciative of everybody that's able to join in and still watch our content, even though it might not be as professional. But I do have some cool things. I do have some awesome people that join my stream, including this one right here. Good morning, Mrs. Kongduras. How are you?
Good morning. We're starting now.
Yeah, we are starting now, and we have a lot of people in house right here. We got Kanti. Say hello to Kanti.
Hi, Conti.
We have Brad.
Hi, Brad.
We have Jen, aka Philly Chick.
Hi, Jen.
We have Stilo. Stilo was here watching our my live stream. He was watching my live stream when I was at Captain's Auction Warehouse. And he has a son named Kaz. I hope he was having fun watching the stream too. So thanks for watching, Kaz. And Stilo. Tony C's here. Retro Arcade Corner is here. Muller Medic is here. Mr. Quicksand, Fighters Evo Blast, Killer Penguins is here. Aaron, what's going on? Ritual Dello. Just going back up and seeing who else I missed to check in. Of course, Ian's always here as well. We have a lot of people that says, like Jen, the whole point of us doing the stream is because you're so excited that we have a real Star Wars pinball machine in our house, aren't you?
Wait, me?
No. Yeah, exactly. Because Jen says, I would love to have a real Star Wars pinball, but there's no way I can get it to fit through the front door of my townhouse, which is a quite a funny story of getting it from our garage upstairs into my den and through several different winding staircases, where we had that friends moment where me, my brother, and my brother-in-law were trying to carry this. I don't know how much it weighs. I mean,
I was in a phone call and I just saw 3 grown men trying to squeeze something up the stairs.
Yeah, we totally had that, like, pivot, pivot. And I was like at the bottom of the stairs. So I have a little bit of a ship carrying damage from lifting it up and moving it down, but I did it. We lifted it up, we got it into our den, and that's how we fit it in. I mean, we had to take 3 people. It had to go through, from our garage, through my kitchen door, across our living room, into our stairway, up across the hallway, and then, because when you transport it, right, I had, even some trouble thinking how I was gonna get this from Captain's Auction Warehouse. When I went to go pick it up, all I had with me was my Honda Pilot SUV, and I was like, I think it should be able to fit, but I didn't know because I knew that the backboard could collapse. I knew we could take off the legs, but I was not confident when I went to go pick up the actual pinball machine if we would be able to get it to fit. But when I first went to Captain's Auctions Warehouse, the very first time I went to go pick it up, I fit my full-size Lethal Enforcer's cab into the trunk or into the back section of my SUV. So I was like, if I can fit a full-size Lethal Enforcer's cab, which I forget the shape of the design. I don't know what a standard Lethal Enforcer's cab should have looked like, but it looks like a midway cab, and it fits. So I was like, if I could fit that, I can probably fit this. And
that's truly impressive. We purposely buy an SUV, not a minivan, because we drive shit around. We don't drive people, we drive shit around.
This is true. Like, well, we have a family. It's still a family car. We haul people. But
a lot of times, no.
Yeah, we haul stuff. We have the collapsible back seats and things. But there it is. What's going on? Killer Penguin said, doesn't matter how prepared you are, something always wants to screw up. Like my sound, like my audio. So I started...
Wait. As long as...
eyebrows
are on point.
Thank you, Brad. She did get her eyebrows on point, and she always gets herself ready in a short amount of time. It's me that took the amount of time to not set up the stream properly. So hopefully the audio sounds okay. We're streaming with the webcam audio instead of this fancy dancy setup that I tried to get going. But maybe we'll switch over because later on I want to show you guys some gameplay of that guy. I just cut off Mrs. Congress. You want to see her, right? There it is. So yeah, we will get some live gameplay of both of us checking out this Star Wars pinball machine behind us, which is absolutely fantastic. So I think there was a couple of people that said, wow, Philly chick, the AOP looks tiny now. And mind you, think about this. So this is the Legends pinball right here. Okay, so the Legends pinball is next to it at 3/4 scale, and that's a custom back box. That's Bobby's custom back box that's taller than the stock one. So you can see how much the stock one, or like my modded Legends pinball. And you like my little topper that I got recently? Check this out. I haven't done a video yet to reveal everything, but look, I just got this cool topper or toy for my Legends pinball. I'm so excited here. I'm just gonna make this full screen, but this is so cool. Check it out. Ready? What? This is a 1992 Playmates shuttle from the next generation that I just thought was so cool. I don't know if there's actual figures and things you can put inside of it.
Wait,
but
what? You just bought it like that?
Yeah, it's look. I mean, it doesn't have a back, but you can't see it. But you know, for $30 on eBay, I was like, this would be freaking cool to have on top of my Star Trek. So I thought that was cool. Love it. Yes, exactly. That's right. That's right. Killer B. What's up, Nubs One? All right, so let's see what else is going on. Need a real pinball soon. What's up? Good morning, Mike Ski Mask Game Killer. Good morning, Rob from New Hampshire. You had a real pinball but sold it, Stilo. Interesting. I'm curious about why you sold your pinball, because I'm a first-time pinball owner, so I don't know. I know it's a good investment. I know that I can make my money back in the future, and she's already telling me to sell it at some point. I could see it in her eyes. You could see it in her eyebrows. She's telling me that I should sell it, but I got it to fit, and I'll do a pan of my entire arcade room because it fits perfectly. I just had to make a sacrifice though. My arcade one-up Star Wars pinball machine, which I still have. I just had to move it into my room for now. I sadly had to say goodbye to my Star Wars arcade one-up pinball because I already have a real Star Wars pinball machine. If it was something else, if it was a different theme, just doesn't make sense to have two Star Wars pinball machines. To have one, this would be the one, right? Are you happy? At least I'm getting rid of some stuff.
But not to get the next big thing.
You got to make sacrifices for the greater good. Canty says the same things. People have pinball machines and they're selling stuff. So yeah, let me know why you guys sold your pinball machines. Now you guys are making me think like, is this a short-term investment? Is it because of space? I mean, I don't plan on selling mine ever, I hope. But yeah, you drop it down the stairs and turns into a $5,000 sled. Yeah, for sure. I was worried at some point that we might not get up the stairs all the way, for sure. The trick is not scratching it. Yeah, it's in really good condition. I will walk through and do a little tour of it, but the cab, for being a used cab that was actually in operation, there's only like 2 scratches that I've seen on it. The rest of it, it looks really fantastic for being in a real operated location. So I'm super awesome. Ooh, you had a Demolition Man. Interesting. So for those really niche, do you remember Demolition Man?
Yes.
Yeah. So Stilo had a Demolition Man pinball machine. So the thing about pinball machine, like owning one, it's like one game that you're playing over and over and over again, and then the IP on that particular game.
I found a place to put this.
Oh. She's using the pinball machine as a place to host your actual food. So yeah, we are having. Oh my God, are you scratching the pen? Stop.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
She's putting the food on the glass, the tempered glass, and sliding down. She's gonna scratch the. I mean, it's tempered glass. It shouldn't scratch. It's meant to withstand stuff, but you know. But yeah, Demolition Man. It's a unique IP, and you know, I think some people would remember it for those that see it and that recognize it. But it's not like that universal IP that somebody would recognize instantly if they came to your house, no matter what generation, right? And so if I wanted to own a pinball machine, I was like, I needed something that is super universal. What do you want me to hold it?
Yes.
Are you looking for another place to hold this? I'll just hold on to this. Ooh, this smells really good. We'll talk about this in a second. But that's why I wanted the Star Wars pinball machine, because Star Wars is timeless now, right? It's one of the most popular IPs ever. And so if I wanted to have one real pinball machine that I feel like could stand the test of time, like 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, like however long it decides to keep this pinball machine, like it will still be relevant for all time, I think. So, but Demolition Man, I can see how like it's a little niche, and the older machines especially might have had upkeep, but that's why I went Star Wars. I'm curious about why you sold it. It's not the chill and chat without any Sunday food. Speaking of Sunday food, she has her Darth Vader coffee, and these are from the famous Porto's Bakery in the Los Angeles area. So if you're ever visiting Los Angeles, stop by Porto's. There's one in Glendale, in
Downey.
Burbank, Downey, but I think these came from West
Walnut.
Covina.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Walnut. Yeah, and these are the infamous cheese rolls. They're pretty much Danishes or cream cheese croissants with glazed sugar on top of it, but they're fantastic. Yeah, bite,
It's hot.
bite,
It's hot.
bite,
It's hot.
bite. Oh, good. Okay.
It's got it all over the place.
What can you do? That says hello, Mr. and Mrs. Kong. Real pinball back boxes are so much bigger on the Legends pinball. Oh, than the Legends pinball. Yeah, exactly. And again, that Legends pinball back glass, this is already at least 6 to 8 inches taller than the original back glass. So you can imagine if it was just its old original ALP back box, which I thought was really disproportionate. Like when you look at a pinball machine, the real back boxes are huge, and then the ALP back box, when I saw it, the original square design, it just didn't match the overall shape of the cab. So I'm really happy with the proportions on my Legends pinball.
I don't know if anyone can hear. It's trying to talk to me.
Yeah, there's a fan that's whirring in the Star Wars pinball, so it does make a little noise. There's a lot of electronics in it, so I'm excited to get back into it and see what else I need to do to maintain the upkeep of it. But we have a lot of people that are watching. Can't believe 50 people are here. AOP is a baby. Yeah, 3 kids and had to go the mini round route. Oh, we know. She refused to get a minivan though. She did not ever want to be a soccer van mom.
Just called me a man.
Soccer van man. But our Honda Pilot at one point, I know, sorry, sorry the camera's shaking. At one point, our Honda Pilot, the front end of it looked like a Honda Odyssey, very much so, to a point where I think there was one time where Mrs. Kongzero was just driving, saw the reflection of the Honda Pilot in the side of a building, and was like, "This looks like a minivan," and was like sinking in her chair to like hide herself because she was embarrassed about being in a minivan. But if you have kids, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Why are you embarrassed about the minivan, folks? Why are you throwing shade at Stilo for having a minivan with 3 kids?
I wasn't calling shade at Stilo. You were.
Well, if you're embarrassed about being in a minivan, there has to be a reason why. So then that inherently, anybody else who has a minivan is like, well, why is Mrs. Kong's arrest not like minivans?
I don't know. It was one of those things where you first learned how to drive. I had to learn how to drive in a minivan. So
That's
I attribute, like,
That's true.
that awkward growing up period in my life to having a minivan.
That's true. Yeah, I grew up with driving a Toyota Previa, and so I think that minivan just associated me with my parents and that family. So even though we have a family of our own yet, we still don't feel like we're
Your
our
parents?
parents, right? So at some point, that's the reason why.
We have young roommates.
That's true. We got you guys need a crew cab pickup truck. Then you could really haul a lot of stuff, aka shiznits, because yeah, that's what you use big trucks for. But luckily, yeah, we have some family that has it if I really needed to. When I had to pick up both my Star Wars Pod Racer and my virtual on cab, I had to haul a trailer that I either rented or had my good buddy Tommy, who you guys saw from the last pickup video, help me out. So that's why you can fit an entire family in it. This is true. You can. Hi, beautiful. That thing is massive. I'm a couple minutes behind chat. No Mrs. Kong's arrest equals no buy. So some of you guys that aren't as fortunate enough to have a Mrs. Kong's arrest in your life, I'm sure there's other ways you can eventually finagle your way to getting a Star Wars pinball or any pinball machine. I mean, it's the most expensive investment I've ever made in myself for anything that I particularly wanted. But just the amount of time I played with it the last couple of days, plus my family coming over, it's just like a showstopper. It's like one of those things that people would just be so impressed with. If there's like one thing, like if I could trade all my arcade 1-ups, which I probably wouldn't do, but I mean, there's good value in having it. So if you can fit it, like that's the enemy of a home arcade is space. So if you can find that dedicated space for it, especially with everybody getting into virtual pinball, having the real pinball next to it, it's just a nice comparison because I've been playing with it for so long. I forgot how awesome real pinball is. All right, so the pinball table, you dirty-minded fools, the pinball table. I'm way behind on chat. All right, so what else we got? Hi, Mike H. Hey, Michael B, the Game Genie is here. He's not even jealous. I can't tell a lie. I'm very jealous. How's it going? Michael B, the Game Genie, thanks so much. So someday, maybe you can convince Mrs. Michael B. I saw her joining your stream the other day to get a real pinball machine. I think you would have so much fun with the real pinball machine. And I'm encouraging everybody to do it. You won't get eye rolls like this from your Mrs. Game Genie, right? If you have anything to say for all the misses in the world that would be supporting all their awesome fellow enthusiasts, would you have any advice for folks that have a not Mrs. Congress in your life?
You need to buy me something.
I need to buy you something. What do you want me to buy you? What do you look? Are you giving me that look? What do you want?
More space.
More space? Want me to buy you a bigger house?
I don't even know where you're gonna fit anything else, and you keep telling me like, this is it, this is the last thing, and it's like, another big box showed up.
Yeah, well, you got to make do with whatever space that you have. So that's
You've been trying to move that coffee table all over the house.
Yeah, and I'm so behind on chat right now. So Hanabi has a horrible accessory eBay purchasing habit too. I think people are talking about my
He's always had a horrible eBay purchasing accessory habit.
Playing virtual pinball helps a ton. Playing real pinball, I'm playing so much better after playing V pinball. That's true. I'm learning more techniques for sure with the V pinball. It took us 4 of us to carry a full-size arcade with the CRT unit of 4 flights of stairs weighing about 300 pounds. Thought you were gonna die. Yeah, I thought I was gonna die too, and I was like, ah. I was like working out. I wasn't that sore, but luckily my brother-in-law like works out, and he was like the buffest out of everybody. So I put him on the bottom. Was like, all right, you can do it. You can do it. And then my brother, who's like a big wimp, was like, oh, I can't do it. I need help. And then yeah, we made it up the stairs.
Well, I love that impression. That was very true.
Was it? Yeah. Nah, the sell eyebrow. Don't sell it. Oh, we were talking about selling it way back. I sold mine to make room. All right, morning guys. Don't worry, my wife really wants me to sell all your pinballs and arcades too. How much does pinball machine weigh? Is it heavy? Yeah, it's like 300 pounds, if not more. It was really heavy. Plus the legs weren't on it, and so I have these like the arcade one of stools. By the way, are perfect if you have 2 of them to put the arcade or the pinball machine on top of the stool, so it has sides so that you can put the legs on. It's not something that I would want to turn upside down, like with the virtual pinball machine. When you got the Legends pinball, their Star Wars, you turned it upside down, attached the legs, and flipped it, right? There was no way I was going to flip that thing upside down because it's a real pinball machine. I didn't want all the stuff flipping around, so you had to mount it on something. So the arcade one-up stools are perfect for putting it there and then attaching the legs. What up, Project 03? What's going on, Brad? Yes, Big Reese's still here. You still have your pinball you got for your 13th birthday. That's awesome. B will now replace A1-ups with real cabs like Retro Ralph. That's an idea. Replacing all the arcade 1-ups with real arcade cabs. Tony C, that's a bad idea because she does not approve. She just smacked me. This is going to be a great stream for seeing Mrs. Kong's reaction to having this in the arcade room. And everybody else, you sold your family to fit my pinballs in your arcades. That's an idea. Who my son is also should be really excited about arcades, is the one that probably gives me the most crap every time I bring a new arcade in. So he's on the Mrs. side. He tells me that I have too much stuff.
I feed that one.
That's true. You needed the space, and now you have arcade space again, so you will buy again. They're crazy heavy. You had a hydraulic lift to move it around. Otherwise, you had issues getting parts. Oh, that's why he sold his Demolition Man. There's the food, $5,000 food table. Issues with the pins. If you spend more time fixing, repairing, playing. Well, this is a newer pin. So the Stern pinball table is one of the newer models. And so I've been told that these newer Stern models have less maintenance. And actually, the play field of this pinball machine is really open field. There's not a lot of like bits and moving parts to it, and so it's a very simplistic table. So I'll talk about the table itself once we get to playing it, but I don't think there's going to be a ton of maintenance to it. Teaches you techniques. Glass won't scratch. All right, that's good.
The plate's on it again.
What's up? Put your quarters on the glass. Put it on the glass. Quarters. Demolition Man is a good movie. 3 seashells. Yeah, do you remember the 3 seashells thing?
Was that the sex thing?
No, it's if you use the bathroom and they're like, you got to use 3 seashells. You don't know how to use the 3 seashells when you go potty? No? We say potty still because we have kids, but Yeah, I don't think I ever figured that out. I think that was left to the imagination of how you would use 3 seashells to clean yourself when you have a number 2. The nice looking table you have there, nice holding food. It was awesome. Had guns to control the flippers. It was very unique. Deep rule set on Star Wars. Yes, it does. Demolition Man is all about that Taco Bell. Oh, people are still talking about Taco Bell. Man, I'm so behind. I'm going to skip and move around. Can you show the side by side? Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. How to use the 3 seashells. So people are talking about Michael Demolition Man. I'm like 10 minutes behind chat. You never saw Demolition either. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna clean yourself with the 3 seashells. So I'm so behind on what's happening right now. But the 3 seashells are such an awesome, iconic thing. I think we're all gonna look up how to use 3 seashells now. Buy Stop Store will have new boxes for sale soon. I'm here. Cool for the Legends Pinball. You should shop it once in a while. Make sure you wax your playfield like carnauba wax. All right, you agree with the size of the AOP backglass. Nice. Better wash them croissant fingers before you grease up them buttons. Yeah, it was good. Do we still have more? Are you still using it as a table? Oh yeah. All right. Soon. Soccer mamas. Soccer moms. Yeah. See, Michael B doesn't mind. All right, I'm like way 10 minutes behind chat. Let's see. Ha ha ha. Cool kids aren't anymore. You can take this job and shove it. I got one kid in a minivan too. The Honda Odyssey is rather trendy looking minivan. Backup cameras make the only difference is make it easy. See, people are like, the backup cameras are good. All right, I'm gonna jump up and see if I can catch it really quickly. You should make a little space diorama for the shuttle to extend the topper a bit. You can get stars and lights. So I'm not done with the topper. So Mrs. Kong Zero doesn't know, but there's another package coming soon that will be accompanying the shuttle. But it'll be awesome very soon to complete, because if I have a Playmates 1992 shuttle, look up what else came out in 1992 for Playmates, and I had to get it, and it's really iconic and will match the cab. So coming soon. I still need to do my final cleanup wiring for the Legends Pinball, and then I'll be able to do like a full showcase on it. We'll show off everything. I still need to put my phaser on, but it'll be awesome. But she keeps, there's a lot of eye rolls today, huh? Those eyebrows are so on point today. She's so happy. She's so happy. We sold our van 3 years ago. The arcade is on. Yeah, I have all my arcades on.
It's really warm in here.
I turned on all my arcades, yeah. She's a little hot. She's a little warm. Only become till they become teens. Michael Day, the stream the other day was hilarious. Yeah, so maybe we should do the wives of arcade gamers like podcast, right? We can get Mrs. the Genie and Mrs. Kongs or Us and Mrs. Dubs and anybody else. I think we should do a roundtable of all the significant others in our lives to see how they truly feel about us. Like, let me know if you would be interested in seeing like that, something like that, and we see if we can make it happen. See if we can lobby other people to do it. Put a 1 in the chat if you're interested in seeing the significant others roundtable of the retro arcade community. Have an intervention, if you will, or something. Is that something you would host? You look so excited for everything that I'm suggesting to her today. Wouldn't that be fun? Like, I'm gonna scroll all the way down. Look at all these ones. All these ones want to see so many ones in the chat. Is P Dubs here? P Dubs, would Mrs. Dubs ever go on camera with you? I'm curious. Has she ever gone on camera for anything you've ever done? Would she do a significant others stream with other content creators? I'm really curious. Yeah, Mrs. Kongzares. Oh yeah, Kongzares, you pitched that idea 4 months ago, and we're gonna call it Retro Angels Podcast. Yes, Dubs, let's do it. I don't think at the time she was much on camera, so I've only brought her into the stream more recently. But if you want to see it, Dubs would be Charlie. And
I don't know if you noticed, but he was using the hand motion of like rope and pulling, and it's like,
You've enjoyed it, like, haven't you?
Sure. Where's my breakfast?
I know, she's like breakfast and a little spike in her coffee, but I think that would be fun to see, just to have a little different spin on things, to see another opinion, if you will, because that's what Dub says all the time. When you're on YouTube or anything, you just want to hear lots of other opinions about things, and who better to hear opinions from than the most significant others in our lives, right? Because they all put up with this at some point.
The other roommate.
The other roommate. Yeah, you get them all together and rally together for hot tubs.
You mean the men sit in the hot tub?
Yeah.
And we critique them.
Blast says she's already agreeing with Mrs. Kongs. Look at this. All these 1 1 1 1 1 1s. Your wife would join that round table and discuss your hobby. See, Akuma Rev's in. Rev 5 would be in. We can get some significant others round tables. We can do it. You're going to steal a bunch of people's fates, yo. Don't do it, B. It'll turn into an intervention. But, I think the thing about long-termness with this hobby is that the open communication to hear other folks' opinions and then counter it or make peace, or like I had to buy her something, she said. Food, mostly alcohol. If I just, give her a few liquid drinks, she's okay. So you have to find out that communication of what you need to be able to quote unquote survive. Soften the blow. Although I have found funny ways, well, not funny to me, but when I've told her anytime that I've gotten the arcade, but what's the best way to tell your significant other you made a purchase? I'm really curious about those types of questions. I think that would be funny. Put another one in the chat if you want to see the Retro Angels podcast. Let's see it. All right, put another one in the chat. I think that would be fun, Dubs. That would be awesome. I think Mrs. Kongzuras would have some fun. You know what they're saying? Strength in numbers. Yeah, there's something to be said in that. Power in numbers. Gentlemen, beware. Tony C is getting a little thirsty. He says in bikinis or swimsuits. So,
the men in bikinis or swimsuits. I would like to see that.
All right, you can have Charlie. I can see Dubs in a bikini or swimsuit, right? And then have it be a flip. Yeah, you would pay to see that?
Yep.
Yeah, Mrs. Kongzuras would love to see Dubs in a bikini or a swimsuit. Dubs has all the good ideas. Hop Tub, Retro Angels. Your wife would give you an earful, but at least we would hear it. At least everybody would know. B has to wear a swimsuit. That's what it is. Repost from earlier. Mrs. Kongs, Mrs. Jeannie, and Classic Kim should start their own castbot cause. What do we get ourselves into? It's not a bad idea. Yeah, we can. I think there have been some wives and significant others. So the Retro Angels podcast would be fun just to have it. Even if it's not like a regular thing, I think a roundtable would be super fun to have. Anybody join in and give some opinions about it. I think that would be a fun show to do. Your wife is pretty good, always, but something before or after the arcade purchase. Yeah, you're happy. It's all about a happy compromise. Seriously. Now, seriously, we need to see and hear the other side of the spouses, what they think and what they're into. Exactly. I agree. All right, so there's more ones in the chats for that Retro Arcade podcast. We got to make it happen, Dubs. Let's get it going on. All right, so I'm all caught up. I think I missed a ton of the chat, so I apologize if other folks had put in stuff, but I think we're going to start doing some gameplay so that we can talk a little bit about the table, and I will still monitor chat as much as possible, but I wanted to have you guys get a chance to see the table in action. I think we're having a super awesome time here. And Jen's here. Yeah, Jen's representing. She says, hey, women play video games too, so Jen can come on board. We can get significant others from all sorts of things coming on too, so that would be fun to hear. Not just the women's. We can see it all. Oh, Brad is saying banana hammocks. Not sure about that. I don't think anybody would want to see that. The OnlyFans special. You'd have to check out Michael B's OnlyFans membership channel to see some of that stuff. Let's do it. Kumarev says, don't tell the wife ish, but they're going to see it anyways. Just, when I used to collect just toys, I used to be able to get packages delivered to work or something and then sneak it into the house and then have it show up on my shelf. And those were expensive toys. They were like $100-$200 toys that, were big purchases at the time. And now I'm spending like thousands of dollars on an arcade machine. But, I used to be able to just sneak it in, but now I can't hide anything that's in my new hobby. So it's super hard to get anything past this one, but that's life. That's what you got to do. Retro Angels could be a one-off, perhaps a one-up and done. A clever one-up and done. I told my wife it's either arcade clubs or prostitutes. You pick your poison. She says prostitutes are cheaper.
And they don't come home with you.
Oh man, what a show. Hey, what's up, Bobby Vu? Hello at Philly Cheek. You're definitely on another level with insane high scores. You wish your wife would play games with you. You want women to wear that stuff. Put yourself in their shoes. All right, so let's go ahead and you ready to play some pinball? Have you played this yet? A little bit, yes. A little bit. All right, so let's I'm gonna switch the camera around. I'm gonna get Mrs. Kongzuras in front of the pinball playfield.
My food now.
Yeah, well, you have these stools that you can use. All right, so I'm going to move these.
My battery is running low.
What's running low?
The battery for this PC.
Oh no, is it not plugged in?
I don't know.
Hold on. All right. Talk to the audience really fast.
Croissants. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, I was going to drop them onto my machine, but they're delish. They're wonderful. There's a pinball that's going to be on sale very soon. Asking price is, how much do you pay for it again?
$6,000.
6,001.
No, not selling. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to all right, go ahead and stand over here. Get in front of the pinball machine. We'll hold this. We're gonna do a little shuffle-roo, if you will.
Oh, so I'm allowed to put stuff on top of your Legends one?
Well, I have to have a back glass on it first. I'm like, my arcade one-up Star Wars always used to be like kind of what I play stuff on, and now I'm gonna put my laptop on top of my Legends pinball machine. All right, here we go. Here we go.
This is madness. No, that is madness.
This is madness. All right. There is Mrs. Kongs R Us. Here we go. All right, hopefully you guys can still hear us okay, because the mic is way over there. And then this is the play field over here. So check it out, everybody. Very good, very good. So again, this is a I was told by Chris from Captain's Auctions Warehouse that this is a Steve Richards design. So the playfield itself is very open. It's like super open in the middle. There's not a ton of ramps and things. This is the Star Wars Pro model. And so you have a couple of things, ramps up here where there's the Death Star, and then you have a TIE Fighter where there's a lot of action. And then there's just a lot of other ramps and a force thing here. So there's not a lot of other little sneaky things here. Oh, we got a super chat from P-Dubs. What does it say?
My jealousy knows no bounds with you owning that pin. Congrats on an excellent pickup.
Ah, thanks, Dubs. Appreciate the super chat for supporting the hobby. We all know that we support each other.
Do you want to show off the size while we're at it?
Yes. So the size of it, again, pulling back here as much as I can, you can see how big it is. The artwork on it is fantastic. So I mean, like, here's the side artwork. There's two versions of this. There's the comic book version, and this is the non-comic book version. So you have the TIE Fighters on this, or sorry, X-Wings on this side, and then you have the Empire on the other side, I believe, right? Oh no, there's a Millennium Falcon and Death Star artwork on the other side. And then the back glass is really cool. I mean, like, I really dig the artwork on the back glass. And then the side has Obi-Wan on it, and then the other side has Darth Vader. So I mean, it's super clean. I think there was literally only one scratch on it right here, and you can't even see it. Like it was like it's just folded over right here, and that's it. Everything else is super clean. So this, I was told, came from Northern Nevada and was in operation somewhere, and now here it is. And so the cool thing about this table is, even though it's simplistic in design, there's so many things you can do with it, because when you start up, right now I have it set to free play. When you start it up, you can select 4 characters. And so just really quickly, you can go from Luke, you can select R2-D2, you can select Leia, and you can select Han. So you have 4 different characters you can be, which give you different missions to do. And then from there, you can select various missions like light escape from Boba Fett, light indoor missions, TIE Fighters, light Tatooine missions. You can choose your path. And then, look, I already started with the multi-ball thing. So there's things where you can start with the multi-ball, and it's just so much fun. So there's a lot you can do with it. So even though it's a simplistic design, there's a ton of replay value in it. So you wanna do some action? No, you're not excited? She's like, yeah. Oh, it went into this mystery thing here too. So it's gonna shoot out really fast. It's gonna go pop. It's gonna pop out. Pop. Pop, 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 pop. Let's see if we can make this really big.
Ooh. These flippers button to select. All right. How do I select it?
This one here. There it is.
Control, you must get control.
must learn control. So yeah, this is the main thing. So let's see if we can get a little bit of Mrs. Conqueror's action so you can see what's happening on the playfield. Try to get some good camera angles right here. Sorry. I will check out what's happening in the chat. Yes, Steve Ritchie is a pinball legend. Yeah, that's great to hear. I'm just learning so much about the pinball world, and so to hear that is awesome. So I'm excited to get into playing this table more and learning more about the everything that the table has to offer in terms of gameplay. This is some horrible camera work there, but we can see. Keep going. All right, so you're done one table. Do another one. Oh, that's terrible.
That was audio too. Sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry. This is such a terrible stream right now. I'm trying to move my camera around because I didn't get my other audio, and so how I can chat to everybody. All right, there we go. All right. What am I doing? This is terrible. All right. Where is my thing? Okay, there. There's that.
Can I hold the camera then?
What's that? Maybe I should switch the audio to that one.
Possibly.
Yeah? All right. All right, let's do that. I'm going to mute this one. Okay, there it is. All right, so the audio, can you give me a thumbs up if you guys can still hear our audio? Yeah?
It should be coming from here, right?
It should be coming from this one now. Sorry about that, everybody. This is what I get for not following protocol and setting up hours before the stream like I should have.
Loud noises.
Loud noises. Ah! All right, we're back. Okay, we're good. So here's the play field. Let me check if there's any questions. You want to do another round of gameplay?
Okay.
All right. Who are you going to pick? Which character? So left flipper to pick your character.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Sorry about that, fellas and ladies. Now you want to play nothing but now I want to go play it. Nothing beats real pinball. Yeah, P-Dubs, when we saw your video of going to the arcade, I think I had that thought that was just implanted in my head as soon as I went to Captain and I played some real pinball for the first time in a long time. It was just I had it in my mind that I wanted to get a real pinball. I've been playing the virtual pinball stuff forever. You can see me messing with my Legends pinball. I love all the mods I'm doing with my Legends pinball. And all we're trying to do is replicate the mechanical feel with adding solenoids, with surrounding sound feedback, and the bass shaker. It's like I'm trying to do everything I can to replicate it, but I'm spending more and more money to the point where you probably could get a pin. I mean, I don't know how much money I put into my Legends pinball mod, but it's up there now in terms of buying all the supplies and the time and energy. I'm still happy with it because the fact that I can play everything else that I want to on my Legends pinball, all the different IPs, that's the fun part about it though, right? I mean, obviously you can play multiple tables, but yeah, the physical pinball table, I'm hoping it's not the start of an addiction to get more, but I have one to rule them all at least. I think so. All right, sup. Thank you. Attack from Mars has remakes. You don't have the mechanical skills to be confident in fixing a real pinball machine. Yeah, I think there's some work to do with it to maintain. But so speaking of maintaining and maintenance, the pro model is very plain in terms of figures and stuff that's included. The premium model for everything actually has a Millennium Falcon that's right here on the playfield, and I believe it has a Jet Star that opens up, and I think it has wire ramps. It has the wire metal ramps that go around everywhere. But for the most part, like it's pretty plain. So there's opportunities to mod the actual Stern pinball and add in additional figures and things to the playfield. So I'm already thinking about mods that I can do to the real pinball machine. And I've even seen some a forum site on pinball or pinside.com, I think, that has a thread about people that have added figures, a lightsaber. There's a lot of cool stuff that that you could potentially do to it too. So I'm thinking about adding some additional figures into this for sure. You're good. This is your fault. So P-Dub says he's ended 2 marriages this week for all the stuff that he's done. All right, let's see what else we have in chat here. All right. Yep, your 1974 Gottlieb top card cures your bad poker habits. Ah, you see, Brad has been remade for sure. You're talking about the attack from Mars. What's everyone feeling about plastic versus metal raised areas? Yeah, because that's the ramps, right? These chutes, if you will, they're plastic instead of the metal ramps that you would see, and it does make it. When I first saw it, it made it look a little bit cheap. That's why I was looking at the premium model more. But then the pro model is just more affordable. And from a maintenance standpoint, I've been told that the pro models that use the chutes and things are easier to maintain than maybe the wire ramps, but there is a different look and feel to it. So it does look like the chutes, there's 2 big chutes that you see on both sides, and they're just giant plastic chutes, and that's pretty much it. So the premium model has wire ramps that actually loop and do a little bit more stuff. So it kind of looks more pinball-y. So I don't know how people feel about it, but I think there's ways that I can spruce it up with additional figures. How did you like the gameplay of the table?
It was nice to actually hear the balls. You can hear something when you're hitting it versus like in the virtual one, when you hit something, you're kind of like, oh, animation, that's nice.
But would you say that you're a pinball fan? Like when you grew up at all, did you enjoy playing pinball tables?
I think it was one of those like, well, all the other arcades I wanted to play were taken up, so I'll just play this pinball for funsies.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really a pinball fan. You shoot the ball. I guess like I don't really play the little missions that they have that you're supposed to do with it. And then at the same time, like I wasn't really, you saw earlier, I wasn't really good at like hitting things.
Yeah. And so I think for fans that didn't grow up as a pinball fan, I mean, like for people, a lot of times you're just flipping the ball, trying to hit something, right? And not following the gameplay and the story and the missions. And a table like this, there's not a lot of stuff to hit. Like things are lit up. And I was telling my dad the other day, who was here, he was just flipping the balls, trying to get up ramps and things. But in order to score points, you pretty much are shooting anything that's flashing, because that's what's telling you what mission to play next. And so I think even playing virtual pinball and trying to get high scores, that's the thing you need to learn. Like that's transitioning you from a casual player to a more advanced, if you will, pinball player, is following the guides. Like there's game instructions on choosing your character and things like that too. So there's a lot you can do with this table. There's a lot of replay value, and I've set high scores. I had the #1 high score so far. So
you're the only one playing.
I'm the only one playing it right now, but at least I set my own high score. I reset it from when I got it, so I was able to get into the test menu, change everything up. All right, Akuma Rep asks, how would you rate VR pinball now that you have a real pinball cap? Does VR really hold up to the very real thing? So VR pinball is a little bit different than virtual pinball, because there's actual virtual reality pinball, by the way. So for those that have an Oculus, either a Rift or a Quest, there is real VR pinball where you put on the goggles and you're playing it, which is a very different experience than virtual pinball or VPin, which is the table that I'm building right here with my with the Legends pinball machine. If you're talking about just the virtual pinball, I mean, there's lots of pros and cons to it, right? The pro for the virtual pinball, and I'll do it right now too, just so you guys can see a taste of it. I'm gonna put my laptop on the big one here and move this over to my Legends pinball now here. So this is my Legends pinball right at the moment. I don't have the glass on it because I'm still doing some modding to it right now, but let me just show you like the possibilities. Oh, look, we have a furry friend here. And yeah, I'm using my big pinball as a table right now. So let me switch over and turn on my virtual pinball. You can see the positives for it, because again, once you have your VIBS board and your PC attached to it, I have this skinned as Star Trek The Next Legend. But look, when I love the flexibility and ability to go into your front end and play pretty much all the IPs that you could want. So here's my VPX table, and look, I can play 24, I can play Ace Ventura, I can play Attack from Mars, Aliens Trilogy. So look, this Attack from Mars is really fun to play. So I mean, the fact that you can get in here and play all these different IPs, this Back to the Future game is really fun. And with the solenoids, it feels like super awesome. So it just really kicks. So I mean, I can get in here and play some Back to the Future, and it's as much as you can. Nothing's gonna replicate the physical sound, but I'm still having a good time with it. So my Legends pinball, it still has its place, and you know, I think having one virtual pinball machine and one mechanical pinball machine is a great balance, because then now I can get in here and you can hear, you know, I have the surround sound feedback. It's very immersive, right? You know, the back screen. Let's play some boom. And it feels good too. Let me get in here so you guys can see. All right, so we're good. She getting scared? All right, so here is the Legends playfield, and Back to the Future is a little bit light. Oh, I guess I'm having like a little bit of flipper lag. That's why I'm slow. Boom. All right, let's go one more time. The flipper sound really good. I have my solenoids going off at the same time. But yeah, that's pretty much the benefits, if you will. And then also I can play my arcade list. So look, I can play 1941 and all the shmups and things. So I think there's just a lot of things you can do with the Legends pinball that you know, still has its place for those that like a multicade. But yeah, I really like having the flexibility in doing stuff like this, but nothing really truly compares to mechanical pinball when you get at it. All right, so let's go back to chat and see what else is going on. All right, Monster Bash has remakes. Pins are like Pokemon. Once you get one, you gotta catch them all. I hope not. I hope I'm gonna be getting more pinball machines. I would have to really make sacrifices and sell whatever stuff I can. Original Trilogy pinball table is timeless. Yeah, I mean, there's the Data East one that I think that Jen was always talking about. I have the classic ones on here. So I mean, I think I have versions of the other classic Star Wars tables on here. So there is right here, Star Wars Trilogy. So this is the Star Wars Trilogy table that has like the big old TIE Fighter Advance and the big old cannon right there. So this is the Star Wars Trilogy. There is an Empire Strikes Back table as well that's on VPX. There's a Battle for Endor, which I don't know if this is a real table or just a made-up table because it looks a little cutesy. And then here is the 1992 Data East table that I think Jen was always telling me about. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, this is a pretty cool table with the R2-D2 on it, with the Death Star that's moving around. So I can replay some of those classics, right, with VPX. That's a really cool thing that they're actually making pretty close to the real tables in a virtual form. They're easier to maintain than there used to be. Yeah. All right, I'm like super behind now. Can I be honest? You like the wire metal ramps? Yeah, I do too. Like you know, that was the thing about it. So, but you gotta have to make some sacrifices for sure. I would have liked to have the metal ramps on here to make it look a little bit more pinball-y. Agree that V-Pin does be real pinball, but my A one-up Attack from Mars is nicely scratching the Medieval Madness itch. The arcade one-up V-Pin is fun too. There's a lot less mechanical maintenance. Absolutely. More than the plastic. We're going back to the plastic thing for sure. Oh, Adam, you're getting a Mandalorian LE? What? Adam Kalb is getting a Mandalorian limited edition. That's freaking awesome, Adam. I played the Mandalorian Pro Edition when I was at Captain's Auctions Warehouse, and I gotta tell you, I was jealous already that the standard Pro model. I'm sorry, I'm gonna move this back over here. Like the Pro model of the Mandalorian pinball table has wire ramps and more stuff happening in the middle of the play field than this Star Wars machine. So when I got this Star Wars machine, I was like, oh, it looks great. It has a lot of mission stuff, and I'm talking myself up But in terms of the actual play field, even though it's like an open design, it was designed that way. The Mandalorian one was like so cool. It has like the ship right in the middle of it. There's like wire ramps all over the place. I'm like, this is a pro model. It has wire ramps. I'm like, what the heck, man? And so that's part of me now. I'm gonna be jealous, Adam. And I was like, man, maybe I should get the Mandalorian pinball too, and then have that one next to this one. So I'm saying this right in front of Mrs. Contourette as she's holding a cat because cats make the world go round. I just can buy her more cats, and then she'll have her hobby and I'll have mine. So, but congrats, Adam. That's awesome. Virtual pinball has to be looked at as something different than physical. It doesn't mean good or bad. It's just its own thing. They both have their place. That's right. You'd be happy with your Legends pinball when you get the back glass eventually replaced because it looks unfinished. Yeah, for sure. The Data 1992. That's the one that we talked about, Jen, for sure. Steel plastic doesn't age well. The one on your demo plastic broke. You couldn't find a replacement. Oh no, that's not good to hear. So yeah, plastic can break versus the metal raves. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that for sure. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that. Once your Vivis board started for LP, you'll be trying to hook it up for Epix 3. Good. Do that mod. They have a company that makes all kinds of toys and mods for real pinball machines. Yeah, there's a place, I think it's called Meds mods or something. I was looking at that for the Star Wars one, so I think there's some potential mods I can do. Less screen time for old eyeballs is always a good thing. You love some mechanical pinball. Yeah, you can tell you're an addict. You didn't even get your game loaded in your vehicle and you wanted the Mando pinball. It's a deep, dark hole, Kong. This is true. Mr. Chip was watching probably the live stream and I was already considering like, oh man, I think there's a different pinball machine that I want, but I don't know. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this for a long time, for many, 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 many years to come. So as much quote unquote downside there might be to the versions that I got, I think, for home use, if it's not going to be in an operated area for commercial use, you're not playing it every day. It's not on all the time. So I think there's less wear and tear that would happen to it. So I see this being very, very sturdy for many years to come. So I'm not as concerned, but I do have plans to do some mods to it for sure. All right, Hercules. Oh, you guys are talking about, oh yes, the Hercules table was really, really huge. Yes, Hercules was a big, big, big thing. All right. Also, playing pinball in the 80s was very different. We didn't have deep storylines and made you earn high scores. Yep. Kitty. I said hi to the kitty.
Kitty.
Yeah, Jen always has her kitties inside her arcades for sure. Oculus is great, but you don't want to stand with real pinball buttons to use it. That's true. Monster. Oh yeah, you're talking about the Hercules. 8-Bit Vinyl has a video from his recent trip to an arcade. Go watch it, George. He shows it next to a normal pin, and it's so funny. Yeah, the Hercules table is like a 5-foot table that's like giant, like pinball. So it's huge. I would love to see one in person someday. I have not sold my A1 Up pin yet. It's still in the other room. I was thinking about bringing it out, and I'll probably will take a picture later today or some point of the Star Wars Arcade 1-Up pinball next to the real one because it's pretty funny, like them side by side. Now that I look at it,
It's a baby cave.
It's a baby cave for sure. All right. For the 4,500 you paid for Star Wars, you could have a top of the line V pin and you make the trade 10 out of 10 times. True. I paid a little bit more for the Star Wars than 4,500, but yeah, V pin. You can probably get a decent V pin for about $2,000, if not less. But yeah, I think there's nothing that really replaces that real deal feel. A lot of people are into real pinball, play virtual pinball. Yep, it's true. Star Wars pin is very nice. It's an investment, like the captain said. Yep. When did you convert your MCC cabinet to a breakfast table? It's all I do in this arcade space. Like, right? I don't have cup holders. I don't have a table to put my stuff. Where else are you gonna eat and do that stuff? I think everything is a breakfast table at this point, and I'm okay with it as long as we're eating, we're happy. And she's allowing me to have food and breakfast in the arcade upstairs, which sometimes she didn't allow before. It's like, no food upstairs on the carpet. I'm like, you gotta have breakfast. You gotta eat. You gotta get it. Well, the Data East one or this one can never go wrong with any original trilogy stuff. Yep. Oh yeah, that was the one. You have an A1 Up Star Wars, and you have the ALP, and you've modded them both. Yes, I loved modding both my ALP and my arcade 1-Up. So I still have a very big love for the original Star Wars arcade 1-Up pinball because it was my first experience with virtual pinball and getting into it and just getting back into that zone of playing it on a physical table, somewhat of a physical table. So I still have a really big, like, it's probably going to be hard for me to sell it because I have an attachment to it because I did a mod for it. Mrs. Kong's Arrest did a review for it. That was amazing, right? So maybe we have to get you dressed up in your Leia outfit and do another review for this big guy. Yeah?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But this table, the Stern Star Wars Pro, is about 3 years old already, maybe 2018 when it came out, 2017. So there's actually been some reviews on it. So our retro arcade community, I know how much of a fan they would be of a review. So probably would just be like my mini take, like more of like a showcase and a review of my thoughts on it and the potential mods, because I guess that's my thing. I'm already thinking about modding it. So putting in my own Millennium Falcon, because you could pay about $1,800 more for the premium version with the wire ramps and Millennium Falcon, or I can buy a $13 Millennium Falcon figure, add some LEDs to it, and attach it right here. So, there you go. Mando cab is cool. Told you he already wants the Mando cab, and you can't be happy with what you have and your addiction is finished. I know, Cab. Adam, congrats, man. I'm gonna have to get you on a show or something, Adam, so that we can see your Mando cab once you get it. I saw somebody else get their pro version, but the limited edition should be freaking awesome. All right, any wife that puts up with this arcade hobby is cool and needs props. Let's give some props to Mrs. Conzuras. You are amazing. So yeah, any kind of final thoughts as we wrap up today's show for bringing this into the house, making space? It doesn't jut out into the hallway as much.
You don't see it, but behind this is the shoji screen, and you can't even see the edge of the wall. It does jut out.
Look, that's the edge of the wall at the top right there, and it barely like sticks out 2 or 3 inches. Like the legs of the pinball machine actually fits right next to the wall, and then maybe the back box sticks out at like 1 inch or 2. But other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with how it fits.
It's not a great breakfast table.
Yeah. She's like, it's not a great breakfast table. People are like, you're just putting our breakfast all over the place.
Yeah, like there's breakfast right here too.
Oh no, we have crumbs on the table.
Oh look, the plate's coming. You can put the crumbs on the plate.
She's having too much fun. But yeah, it fit. This is the rest of my arcade. So I have my Pac-Man, my Star Wars cab, my Outrun cab, my Marvel vs. Capcom, Legends Pinball, and then this guy. And then on the back side, you can see the cabs behind me. But that's how we got it to fit. I started creeping into other places in the hall because you guys have seen that I have whoa the MVSX and the AR arcade over there, IR arcade. So that's the thing. But we're gonna probably end the stream pretty soon, just to keep it at an hour like we normally do. Your wife enjoys the pinball. That changed her perspective. Yeah, I hope we can get more foot. And I see anybody that comes to the house now, this will be one of the first things they play. Like, you don't have to explain anything. A lot of my arcades are multi-cades, and so sometimes I have to be watching them. Like, if anybody wants to play my Outrun or my Star Wars, I have to explain to them what button to push, what to press, how to exit a game. Something about just a play and go is, as I've had more people come to the house recently, I've had more appreciation for having games that you can just easily get in there and play. Like, if it's just me playing, yeah, I can absolutely run with the multi-cades. But other than that, when you have company, gotta have those easy to play games. For sure. Modding is fun, so Akram's route was worth it. Yeah, did you finally actually turn all your arcade machines on at the same time? I did. I have most of them on, except for this Tron, because it's been sitting here forever, and I need to finish it up, but for sure. Rainwater Games is late to the party. How's everyone doing? Look at that beautiful table. Yeah, it's here. It's here. Thanks for the amazing content. Enjoy your cap and the new kitties. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chip. I appreciate you joining in all the time. Much props to lots of jelly on this end. Very cool. Thanks. That would be an impressive mod, B. Mrs. Kongzaros is such a great supportive partner, so major props to her. Thank you. All right, Jen, I think you said it very, very much. So thank you to Mrs. Kongzaros. Any final words you want to say?
Where's my new toy?
I need to go buy her some new toys. But everyone have a great rest of your Sunday. I appreciate you guys joining in the stream. Sorry for all the craziness with the camera angles and everything. I promise I will wake up earlier next Sunday and get more prepared than what I did today. Because
Lies, all lies.
Lies, all lies. We're just gonna wake up 5 minutes before the stream like we normally do and try to put this on. But appreciate everybody joining on. Have a great rest of your day. See you guys next time. Happy Sunday. Bye, everybody.